The Amalfi Coast, or a seaside region on the southwestern tip of the Italian peninsula, truly serves as an example of the authentic countryside as well as coastal side Italy that is often overlooked when analyzing more of the municipal and historic centers such as Rome and Venice and many others. The Amalfi Coast, though, has a comparably rich history as all those other city centers. The Amalfi's history goes back all the way to the early BCE times, when in around the 80s BCE, Roman general and future dictator Sulla was able to successfully invade almost the entirety of what's now known as the Italian peninsula, particularly in the southern and northern portions, while fighting wars with foreign kingdoms. While there, he was able to conquer this region and many others through many of his expansive conquests. And as a result, this region of Amalfi and these seaside villages, once inhabited by more complex fishing tribes, eventually became the current of Rome's maritime trade and commercial industry. For centuries, it became the hub of major seaside transportation, elite vacation spots, as well as commercial trading, with it being accessible to the city side of Rome just a few miles northeast, as well as out more towards the Hispania region in the Iberian Peninsula, towards northern Africa and rest of the Mediterranean, to Sicily, and even towards more of the Phoenician and Middle Eastern portions, which allowed for this region to serve as the true coastal barrier to all regions in the surrounding miles. Now, this region really experienced much of the same trials and tribulations as the rest of the Roman Empire, as in the 400 CE, the barbarians, as the Romans referred to them, also known as the Goths, the Vandals, and other Germanic tribes, sacked almost the entirety of the Roman Empire and entered this place as well. And over time, once Italy gained independence from the Holy Roman Empire's sphere of influence, various different kingdoms began to form towards the 700s and 800s CE throughout the Italian peninsula. And the Amalfi Coast became part of a kingdom known as the Kingdom of Sicily, also sometimes referred to as the Kingdom of Naples. Here, this region, which included some smaller villages and hamlets, including this one, Positano, as well as others such as Sorrento, ultimately became encapsulated in the Duchy of Amalfi, very creatively named, which encapsulated these various different cities and small seaside municipalities within this noble land. And over time, it began to continue to serve as the commercial sector for trade and maritime expansion from the Kingdom of Sicily to other Italian kingdoms, as well as towards the Byzantine Empire, towards different Spanish kingdoms, as well as even to the Islamic world. However, various different earthquakes in the 1300s and a little bit before, unfortunately, devastated much of this area, and it's why, sadly, there are very few Roman shrines that can be seen here. However, on some islands, such as Capri, it can be seen certain Roman imperial estates, such as the palace of Roman Emperor Tiberius, as well as some remnants of the seaside estate of Caligula and other shrines from ancient Italian history. Now, the Duchy of Amalfi eventually became engulfed by what was known as the Principality of Sorrento, another noble land that took over through basic noble conquest as well as marital and political exchange. And as the years went by, this region kind of maintained its true Italian authenticity and cultural independence, and continued to be a true grandstanding example of authentic rural as well as coastal Italian culture, even as the centuries moved forward into the Renaissance, Baroque, classical, and modern eras.